David Wright's day job is running a building company. But in his spare time, it's all about guns, liberty, and the dangers of Islam. David is a self-declared extremist. In Louisville, he runs an anti-Islam militia group called BEAR, the Bureau of American Islamic Relations.
So, we would go and stage a protest at a radical mosque, and we would spend months investigating that mosque to make sure that it was a radical mosque. Normally, the FBI and the police would investigate these things, but they weren't doing their job.
David and his Kentucky militia have turned up to 3 mosques, by his own count, carrying shotguns as worshippers went inside. He argues he has the right to declare a mosque radical based on his own investigations, whether law enforcement agrees or not.
In America, my First Amendment right gives me a right to protest anywhere I want. And my Second Amendment right gives me the right to carry a gun. Who's to say I can't do both at the same time?
David says he's not against Muslims, just the radical ones. But considering some of the language he uses to describe Islam and the armed protests outside mosques, it's clear why some Muslims might consider him threatening.
One of David Wright's protests last year ended with him eating a meal with local Muslims. But some Muslims oppose that approach to confronting anti-Islamic extremists. People like Hamza Foy, a Kentucky native who converted to Islam 12 years ago.
Just the fact that you're coming out armed and with weapons, once again, it conveys to the layperson, it conveys intimidation. So your intention at the very least is to intimidate us. I'm not gonna, oh, let's buddy up. Absolutely not. I would, I'd be very skeptical and be suspicious of, what else they may have in mind.
Hamza calls the idea that there are radical Muslims everywhere ridiculous.
Clearly, there seems to be this kind of boogeyman narrative that there's a radical Muslim hiding around the corner. Here in Louisville, in the Muslim community, I always say, okay, who is this exactly? Like, who's this radical? Because there's no one in our community that I have seen, that I have heard about, that is a radical or whatever.
Anti-Islamic groups here aren't easily going to change their minds about Muslims in Louisville. But one of this city's most famous sons was a Muslim, the late heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali, a hero to the vast majority of people in this city and country, regardless of their religion. Abu Bakr al-Shamahi, TRT World, Louisville, Kentucky.